Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now guys, Nigeria is doomed under this present Buhari dispensation. Have absolutely no doubt about that, and there is a reason why the people who composed and put together the Nigerian constitution inserted a minimum qualification for whoever purports to want to run the country. So they've set a minimum qualification for whoever wants to be the president, and there's a reason for that, and that reason for that is going to be fleshed out in the video clip that I'm about to show you. So there's a video clip inserted in this video, so please watch on and we will get to that video clip in the course of this video. But before we get to that video clip, guys, I bring you this. See the video of President Buhari answering a question at the United Nations General Assembly that got Nigerians talking. So that's the headline. See the video of President Buhari answering a question at the United Nations General Assembly that got Nigerians talking. So let's read the caption. I'll insert the video at whichever point, so just watch this video all the way through, but let me read you the caption to it first. Nigerians are reacting to a video posted on Twitter by Special Assistant to the President on Digital and Media, Tolu Ogunlesi, showing Buhari wrongly answering a question about Nigerian youths at the ongoing 74th United Nations General Assembly. So let me insert the video here actually, so you can see the video and see exactly what we're talking about. So I'll insert it here now.
President Buhari, Nigeria has a very young population. Perhaps you might highlight what a pathway for a resilient future looks like.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I share the sentiment expressed by the Secretary General that the world is on the verge of climate catastrophe. Undeniably, climate change is a human-induced phenomenon. It is now imperative that we must step up our collective climate actions in line with the request of the Secretary General. It is in this regard that I wish to reiterate Nigeria's commitment to its obligation under the Paris Agreement, the aspirations enshrined in our national determined contribution, and ensure a resilient future that mainstream climate risks is our decision-making. I want to announce.
So that's the video. So we carry on. The president was at the time attending the side event which focused on climate change. Also on the discussion panel with President Buhari were the Fiji president H.E. Frank. I'm not going to attempt his last name because it's just too convoluted. Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari, Netherlands Prime Minister H.E. Mark Rutte, Bank of England Governor Mr. Mark Joseph Carney, and Chief Executive Officer of Wills Towers Watson, Mr. John Haley. During the discussion, the moderator asked President Buhari, Nigeria has a very young population. Perhaps you might highlight a pathway for what resilient future looks like. So that's the question that was being put to the Malami. Nigeria has a very young population. Perhaps you might highlight a pathway for what resilient future looks like. Very simple question. Just give a part answer. But then, of course, this is Malam Buhari. And before we go any further, I will refer you back to the Kadira Ahmed interview during the presidential campaign. You will recall that Kadira Ahmed was interviewing all the leading candidates for the presidency. And when it came to the turn of Buhari and Oshibanjo, Buhari did not say anything more than hello and goodbye in the course of that more than an hour-long interview, because of course he did not have any understanding of all of the questions that was being put to him. So Kadira will throw a question at Malam Buhari, and Yemi Yemi Osinbajo will intercept that question at midway point and immediately give one of his big grammar answers, and of course it's big grammar to big grammar between Kadira and Yemi Osinbajo, and then Malam Buhari will just sit there looking gumless and looking confused and probably thinking what he's going to have for dinner and thinking, well, what am I doing here and who are these people? Because of course he's an elderly man and he's a confused man. But then of course now at the United Nations there is no facility for that, to have a winged man to fend off the question for you. So they put the question to you directly and they expect you to answer it sharply and coherently, and nobody on this planet, not even his own parents, can accuse Malam Buhari of either being sharp or coherent. Even at his prime he was never that, never mind being an 80-something-year-old man that he is now. So of course now this lady is asking this question. He's saying, do you think the color white is white? And he's saying, the color black is black. So he's answering white with black and is answering black with white. But then of course this is the expectation of this dithering, elderly, old, confused, gumless man. And of course we go back again to that narrative of that thing in the Constitution of Nigeria, that somebody has to display a minimum academic requirement before they aspire to the post of the Nigerian presidency. And the reason why that insertion is in the Nigerian Constitution is demonstrated quite aptly in this video clip that you've just seen now. There's nothing more that speaks to that statute within the Nigerian books than this video clip that you've just seen now. This lady was asking our Malami president a completely different question, and this guy, because he has only been prepared for one singularity, then went to climate change. My dear friends, what has climate change got to do with our population? Now we know that Malam Buhari's grasp of the English language is extremely limited. We all know that, and his grasp of it, his understanding of it, and his enunciation of it is completely at a very base and basic level. But surely even somebody of his low grasp of language can make the distinction between the word population and the word climate. They are completely different things, and they've been coaching in more climate for long enough, and the discussions around population have been going on long enough for him to make the disparity between the two in his own mind. But what do we have? This guy has gone to disgrace us again in America, as he has been going on to disgrace us around the world, telling the whole world that Nigerians are lazy youths and we are all criminals, and they'll ask him A and he'll answer B. And this is not the first time, by the way, that he has done this. He did this at the Kadira Ahmed interview. He did that also with an interview with Christina Mampo in some interview that she did in the early stages of his tenure. So this guy, he has no grasp of language, he has no understanding of the questions that have been asked of him, and he has then no understanding of how to respond to that question. So this little cameo that we've just witnessed now is a macrocosm of a bigger problem that afflicts the Nigerian state. And this is really why I said we're in a last chance saloon with this guy. So if you imagine then how he functions on a day-to-day, and this is really, by the way, one of the reasons why he surrounds himself with people of his own tribe. So this is somebody that has no grasp of the English language and is suspicious and dubious of anybody that is not of his tribe and his religion. So you can then imagine a Yoruba man from Oyo going to him to explain in English what the requirements are to evolve the country. Is completely at lost, and all his guards are up, because first he doesn't even understand the language that is being spoken to him, and then he has an innate distrust of the person that is speaking that language to him, both because of his religion and because of his language. This is really one of the key reasons why this guy surrounds himself with Malamis, because of course the language of governance in the Nigerian state is the Hausa Fulani. So you can imagine when they report to him, they of course speak in their own own language, because that is how they are best able to effect communication. Because Malam Buhari is of course able to effect communication in his own native language, because we all know, and we have now seen again, and we have seen severally, that he struggles with interacting in the English language. So he cannot then have an English speaker coming to express something to him, especially somebody that is not of his religion and his tribe. So all of his guards will be up in that situation, and that for me is one of the key reasons why he surrounds himself with Malamis. So this is the real problem with Nigeria. We have a low base president who has no grasp of the English language, who is limited in learning, who is parochial in view in terms of limiting himself to his religion and his tribe, and is then having oversight of a country that has well in excess of 250 major ethnic groupings. So you can already see that that is a volatile and a potent mix. This is just a recipe for disaster, and this is the disaster that is now playing out in the United States of America. They are asking you about how you are going to handle the population of your country, which is ballooning out of proportion, and you are talking about climate change. What has climate change got to do with the question that you have been asked? But then of course he has no grasp. He did not even hear the words, I suspect. He was just waiting for the lady's mouth to stop moving so he can then just read out the script that has been given to him by his Boki handlers to say they are talking about climate change. Just say Nigeria is for climate change, diggy diggy, burukutu, and shikena, and just say all that, and that is what they want to hear. And this is really the script that they gave to him. So the lady asked him a question that is completely outside of the topic of that particular panel, but then of course he's not tuned in because he doesn't have the capacity, because I refer again to what is in the constitution, that you needed a minimum requirement which he has not met. So now this is now the forebinger for the future 4 years that is coming for Nigeria. So they will ask him A and he will answer Z, and this is really how the country will go. A to Z, largest economy in Africa to the poverty capital of the world. This is really now the narrative of the Nigerian state, and this is what Malam Buhari presents to you. Conversations in the comment section around this is what I am inviting. The embarrassment in the United States of America is only the beginnings of what portends for the next 4 years, is what I am suggesting. But before you come have that conversation with me, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Then come tell me what you are making of the ridicule that this Malami is subjecting us all to all over the world in the comment section. So I'll leave you here, join you in the comment section, but here I say peace.